All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning, guys. Hope you had a great day yesterday as well. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Carlos. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to hear that. All right, guys. So let's get to it. As usual, we'll go over our watch list we had here today, which the spy was amazing yesterday, giving us some really good moves. Then we'll get into our gappers list. See what's going on here. We have some green on the screen, so that's nice. We'll go over Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. We'll see what you guys have on your list, and then in between there, we'll also look at the market post, see what's going on there. Norm will give us an update on what's happening today or throughout this week, and then we'll get over to some announcements as well. All right, so let's get to it. So OSTK, guys, as we know, this stock, let's bring our 5 minute and see how this traded yesterday. This stock is tricky, it's funky, doesn't trade very well sometimes. Very hard to identify patterns when it comes to this OSTK company, the way it trades overall. So overstock here, you can see beautiful drop below the VWAP. I did not have shares for short with CME. Again, no issue at all. We don't want to focus too much on the stuff we cannot do. Let's do what we can with what we have, right? That's the important part. So if you don't have shares for short, no problem. Let's look at something else that we can possibly trade. So here, drop down below VWAP, did this kind of consolidation here, and then it's this huge pop out of nowhere. Look at the volume, right? Right here, look at the volume coming in. But again, it's difficult to take a stock long here under the VWAP against all these moving averages. How do you catch this move, right? So this is kind of the way that overstock trades. Then on the next candle, completely sells right back down. So you have a drop, an engulfing of the previous candle, and almost another engulfing heading back down on the 5. So again, very difficult to trade this type of action, also with the moving average all in between here. So once I saw that, I just completely avoided it. It does later on look like it traded into a point and then kind of like a wedge here, and then it kind of popped up again towards the high of the day. But again, it's one of these stocks that are just very difficult to trade. KMX was amazing, guys. The one thing with this stock, as you know, the spread was a little funky, and also this was stock one you wanted to really watch the number of shares, right? We're going from 90.50 all the way down to 88.50. That's a big drop. When you have that type of range, you want to be careful with the number of shares you take. But a beautiful pullback here, couldn't get above the moving average and the VWAP, and that's a huge rejection sign that the stock does not want to sell any higher. And then here beautifully just starts selling down, hitting the low of the day, and then breaking through that. And then look at how it follows this 9 EMA nicely, right? Just a beautiful downtrend. The SPY, absolutely, yes, it did help with a lot of these drops here. So that's great. We got the advantage of that, but overall, traded very nice. Guys, another great example why you need to be very, very careful with how many not how many. You need to be careful with the bias, right? KMX had positive news, positive news, and look at the drop here, right? It did recover a little bit towards the end of the day, but again, just look at this amazing drop here, even with positive news they had yesterday. Snap had a good pop for a 2-minute opening range breakup. Some volume came in. Andrew traded this perfectly. Had a great, quick, fast entry. Then after that, just became a little bit choppy. Nice big drop over here right below the moving averages. Tries to get above VWAP and then just starts selling down. And obviously the SPY might have caused some of these drops here. Actually, a little later in the day, around 10 o'clock or so. But again, look at the 5. Overall, it just went into this range here and got stuck between the 5-minute. Just a pure choppiness there. BB was very, very nice. This one gave us a nice opening range break. Opening range, right? Beautiful opening range. So a nice pullback here to go short. It wasn't short selling restriction, so you had to wait and set an ask to get filled. But it got squeezed. It got squeezed at least to VWAP. Could not hold above VWAP and became a beautiful short. I was thinking about going short here again, but I was a little bit indecisive on taking another stab at this. A lot of traders took this short. Once they got confirmation, did not want to go above the VWAP. And then again, we talk about this, right? Once it rejects the VWAP, it grabs onto one of these moving averages. It did that here with the 9. And look how beautiful it just follows a 9 all the way down. Once the moving averages start curling up and you start breaking out of these moving averages, is usually a good trade for a reversal, right? So look at the 15-minute chart, see how that looks as well. Usually get a nice pop. You might not come back all the way up to VWAP, but this right here is a great risk to reward. Your risk is the low of the day, and your reward is towards you hitting towards 6 or this moving average, the VWAP as well. AMD actually very choppy, nothing fun at the open, going above VWAP, below VWAP, just kind of chopping around. Then it settled in, right? And we talk about this when AMD starts to play nice. It does this a lot. It'll be choppy for like the first half hour, And then after that, around 10:30 or so, just grab onto a moving average and trade nicely. So this is the way that we are used to seeing AMD trade. But again, the last several days has not done very well. And obviously we had the SPY dropping, which helped quite a bit. In our chat room yesterday, we're looking at MU as well. We're looking at this one live. This one was so clean. Look at this beautiful drop. Retest of VWAP. Cannot hold any of these moving averages. And then the drop starts happening. Now, I believe this drop started happening prior to the SPY dropping. I think they started doing it a little bit first or earlier. And then you can see how beautiful that traded down. The other one I had on my list, because it's just been trading well the last couple of days, was X. But X started off very choppy, guys. Look at the 1 minute. Again, not trading clean at all. And then starts settling in nicely. This is a reverse ABCD pattern here, by the way. Nice ABC pattern. Here's your resistance. And look how you break through that B point. Just starts dropping down nicely. So X was amazing. And then, of course, the trade of the day, Roku. Roku's just been on fire. So again, look at this drop here, another drop here. We were watching this live in the chat room and commenting.
I would actually, I would say going down in flames instead of on fire myself.
I agree. Yes, going down in flames. It was just unbelievable the way this thing picked up, and it just started dropping, blew through these prices like nothing. We're talking about, guys, going from 106, 106.50 down to 103. You know, that's a big drop. So yesterday was not a day to try to catch a reversal, guys. I mean, a lot of stuff was against doing that. The SPY was dropping like a knife. This thing here was also dropping hard. So again, you don't want to be trying to look for a reversal in those type of conditions. With the SPY, the way the SPY was trading yesterday. Look at this here. You started here with a nice big drop, another nice decent drop, and then from there, just all hell broke loose. Right, so that is what we had yesterday. Norm, what do we have for today on the SPY news? What's going on? What's the latest and greatest?
SPY is completely flat at the moment. There's really not a whole lot of economic news today. There is actually going on right now, or soon to be ending. One of the members of the Fed is speaking. Another one is testifying a little bit later today. Other than that, no economic news. European markets are down a little bit. Asian markets closed down a little bit. So it's kind of where things are sitting. You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. As most everybody, I'm sure, knows, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced an impeachment inquiry into the president and some of this stuff. Having to do with Ukraine and pressuring Ukrainian government to go after political rivals. At least that's what what the basis of it is. The White House has said that they will be releasing a full unredacted transcript of the telephone call in question today. So I don't have a time on that. If anybody's seen it, I'd love to know. I don't know if there is an official time when that will be released. That might be a catalyst depending on what's said in that. But I think overall things are just Europe and Asia down a little bit because of the political uncertainty here. It harms, people are worried it potentially harms progress in trade talks if the U.S. president is in a bit of a more difficult position. The Chinese might not be so inclined to negotiate. So it's kind of what's going on. Not seeing a whole lot. Volumes fairly weak this morning. So that's kind of what's going on.
All right. So let's get into what we have here in our gappers list. Let's start over with PM. So again, PM is up quite a bit, up 7.2. This one, 1.2 million shares traded. So it's got quite a bit of a volume. Pre-market activity looks a little bit flat. Is this a buyout? This looks like some type of buyout.
No. This there was actually a merger that was going to take place between Philip Morris and Altria, which is third down on the list as MO. That has fallen apart, and so they won't be. They've officially called off any merger in the works, and the CEO of Juul has stepped down. So, which Altria had a large stake in. So, that's what's going on in that tobacco space and what's causing PM and MO to pop up on the board today.
All right, so let's look at MO next, since these two are linked today. Yeah, so this one also has some activity. We have traded this one in the past, and the few times it has been active, it has actually traded pretty well. We have got some good moves out of MO in the recent days. So definitely worth taking a look at. This got some volume as well, 837,000 shares traded. Pre-market activity is not looking all that crazy just yet. It is early, so let's see how this thing develops towards the 9:30 Eastern time frame. Let's go over to NKE, which is Nike here. So Nike is up quite a bit, 4.8 this morning. We have traded this one in the past. This one looks good, very active, some good volume, 377. Norm, what's the good news on this one?
They released earnings last night. They beat top line and bottom line. Some people were concerned that they would have difficulty with the tariffs and trade wars and such, and their growth in China seems to have expanded instead of contracted, as people were worried about, which has caused this one to get up to an all-time high here.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So this will be definitely one to watch, guys. Look at this nice pre-market activity. We got some volume, and Norm just mentioned this is all-time high, right? So this pre-market here is 92.65 is all-time high for Nike. That also makes things very interesting when stocks start hitting that all-time high and that all-time low. So one that we want to keep an eye on. Next we have, I thought we had another one on here. Yeah, SNE. So SNE is up 2%, 2.9, 134,000 shares traded. It looks like a big block trade just sitting here at 60.59. So again, nothing happening with SNE at this time. This is Sony, just a big block trade right here, as you can see. Not much going on. So I'm going to remove this one. If something happens, guys, and you see something exciting, let us know and we'll bring it back. But yep.
I'll chime in here on Sony. Sony's obviously a foreign stock. It's a Japanese company. When I've watched it in the past, and I might have tried trading it once, it is very difficult to trade.
Yeah. I actually have never traded Sony before neither. So, but again, just look at this daily chart. It's just horrible. So, all right. So let's go over to our Nasdaq Active. We have HGSI. This one here is a penny stock. Nothing we don't want to be involved with. TVIX is slightly up this morning, not by much. Not much going on there. We had some drops yesterday, so you can see how this thing popped up nicely. Next, we have AZRX. This one a penny stock. We'll skip this. VBIV. This one here also a nasty penny stock. We'll skip that one as well. ACHN. This one here is up 5.7, 393,000 shares traded. Daily chart looks very funky. Looks like it had a couple of days where it was trading pretty nice and actually popped up quite a bit here. This morning, pre-market activity is not looking all that great. What is the flow on this? I'm going to assume it's very low. Actually, no, it's not. 135 million shares flow, so it's not a low flow. I'm going to throw it down here because it's a good possible. I don't like the pre-market activity right now. I don't like the fact that it's under $5. These stocks tend to trade a little bit weird, so we'll keep it on here for now just to see what happens. Next, we have ADXS. This one, a penny stock. We'll skip this. NASDAQ ETF, pretty flat. As Norm mentioned, markets are pretty flat this morning after a nice big drop yesterday. Next, we have SNNA, also another penny stock. NASDAQ ETF, and then we have AMD on here. So AMD had a nice big drop yesterday because of the SPY dropping, obviously. But AMD has something very interesting aside from that, is that we're at the level of support that we have been over the last couple of months. I think over 30 days, this has been a level of support for AMD. And then we have two ranges on here. We have this one here, which we've been stuck around 31. And then we have the big one here, the big range at 32, right? So we've been stuck just in this range, just kind of chopping around, waiting to see what's the next move. So again, we have about 30 days within these two ranges, opposed to what we had before, where we had some really nice moves on AMD. Look how we were moving in the past, creating some good moves for us during those times. So AMD, not much interesting right now, 292,000 shares traded. The only thing interesting I like about AMD is that if it loses this, it can actually maybe head lower, right? Some people might be sitting here at this support that it has supported over the last couple of days. Next, we have on the list here, let's go over to PHAS. This one is moving nicely in the pre-market. It's got 136,000 shares traded. It's got a nice pre-market activity. Let's check the flow. The daily chart looks decent, like we're getting a kind of a bounce here, 21 million shares flow. So we do have a nice little bounce off this 375-ish area, looks like. and we are sitting right at a moving average. So this one could be interesting, guys, if it can get some serious volume and push higher. Pre-market activity looks very clean here. It is on the low. It's a lower float than what we are used to trading, but it's not a low float. It's a 21 million shares float. It is trading under $5, but it's not a stranger to trading above 9, 10 or so. So worth keeping an eye on, see if we can get more activity out of that. CMTL, nothing happening here, guys. No volume. SAEX, I believe this is a foreign stock. I'm not sure, but again, penny stock, not much happening here. PXS, this one we have looked at in the past. It has been active, as you can see here, but in the past it has been in play before. But again, not really great to trade right now. No volume. BPTH, guys. Whoa, what is going on here? We have
your buddy,
my buddy,
your buddy,
my buddy. Oh man, this thing. Let's just go back. This was the day here. I mean, this thing was just incredible. For those that have joined us and don't know the history about BPTH, this was something that popped up from basically nothing, zero. Went up to $7, $4, and then the following day just shot up all the way up to 73.52. And the story behind this is great. So definitely, if you go to our YouTube channel and you search BPTH, William has a special on what happened during the days on the backseat and what happens when some of these big guys get squeezed. So again, we had some good trades in here on this BPTH, but again, it's one that's a low flow and very, very risky. Today, not much volume, so we'll skip it. ACHN, we have already. PCRX, this one seems interesting. 118,000 shares traded. Daily chart looks a little bit funky, not as clean as we like, but let's check some details on this. What's going on when it comes to our float? 40 million shares float. Some decent volume, up 5.8. Yeah, I think this is worth watching. This is worth keeping an eye on, see what we can get out of here. The daily chart is not the greatest. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, the only thing I could find on PCRX is that it's being added to a small cap index.
Oh, okay.
So what happens there, it's going to join the S&P small cap 600. So what happens there is it'll have to be included in some mutual funds and things. Mm-hmm. When they rebalance that, index funds that mimic certain exchanges, it pops some flow into those. So that's probably what it is, unless somebody else sees another piece of news that somehow I can't find.
Gotcha. Yeah, that just sounds like it might not be the best thing to trade based on that, right? I'm not sure what's going to be the outcome of that type of trading. So we'll throw it down here as a possible, just because I'm curious now to see how that's going to trade. So we'll keep it on there as a possible to look at later today. Next, we have HDS. HDS here, no activity, no volume. TTOO. TTOO, we have traded in the past. We do have some levels on here. TTOO, what is this one? Yes, a 32 million shares flow. So we do have some prior history, but no volume at the moment. And last one, GLUU, nothing going on in this area. Norm, what do you like this morning?
We've got one other that popped up in the gappers list, trading on some decent volume coming in. MPC, which got an analyst upgrade. Morgan's, where was it? There was an analyst upgrade and a call to break them up into a couple of businesses. So that's what's going on there.
Yeah,
and a hedge fund reported 2.5% stake in them.
Oh, yeah. So, I do like the way this is moving today. And again, this is one that's going to have a very high ATR for the day. As you can see here, this thing is popping up from 54.30 to 59.70. So another one kind of like KMX, guys, where you want to watch your size if you're going to trade this one. Oh, we forgot about Roku. How can we forget about Roku? Let's bring this back. Roku is one that I definitely want to keep my eye on. It was very active yesterday. We might get some of that some of that action today as well. So I'll definitely have Roku on here as well. All right, folks, let's get into what both chats are looking at. Norma, unless you have another one you have in mind, or?
Well, I did want to answer a question that came over on the YouTube chat. Mm-hmm. Joshua Gay was asking what makes international companies hard to trade. Greg and Kelly DiBenedetto pretty much answered it, but I wanted to stress, when you get that Sony, if you pull it back up and you look at the gaps in the crazy, ugly daily chart, a lot of that's like they already said, it's exchange issues. If one foreign currency goes up or goes down, a lot of times it'll gap up a lot. and then you can see it's just little tiny candles. They're like dots. So
Yeah.
they make a big move overnight, but they don't really move much during the day most of the time.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a big part of it. And then also they do stuff, things happen and news comes out in the middle of the day because they're overseas. They release things or something said or done, and you can get some unexpected moves out of them. So it's just, we've got enough to trade that we don't need to focus on things like that. And that's kind of the reason behind all that.
Yeah. Yeah. If this was 24 hours here, then this would be definitely a nicer daily chart. But again, since we close the markets and they keep doing their thing over there, it causes these gaps between days. All right, guys. So let's get over to some announcements. Give me 1 second here, and then we'll get over to some support and resistance, and we'll go through this list and make it. Actually, no. Wait. Getting ahead of myself. What do you guys have on your end that you like this morning? All right, NKE we have STAG. Let's see what we have there. STAG, nice drop here, 3%. 253,000 shares traded so far. I do like the way the daily is setting up. The pre-market activity, I do not like the way it looks right now. It looks pretty dull, but definitely we can take a look at this and see how this develops. It is down quite a bit. It is holding an area of support right on here, and also sitting lovely on this moving average. And we also have another level that we can get to, but I'm not seeing a great pre-market activity at the moment, although it does have 253,000 shares traded right now. OSTK, let's bring up OSTK. Yeah, no volume on OSTK today. Again, every day has been trading very nice after this drop here. Well, not nice. It has been trading very active. That's the better word. Nice is something completely different when it comes to this stock. But right now, the volume is so low, it's not going to make the cut for me on my list. And especially when we have other stuff that we can watch, OSTK is not going to be one of those favorite stocks that I want to keep on watching. If we have something else we could watch. So let's see, Tesla continuation play. Let's look at Tesla continuation play here. Yeah, wow, look at this drop on Tesla. It's just, yeah, you could definitely look for Tesla for a continuation play today. I'm not sure if it's going to chop around and just kind of hold here for a bit. We also got to see what the SPY is going to do. The SPY is a little flat right now. I think that's going to affect a lot of the way these stocks trade, depending if they decide to rebound a bit or head lower. So we'll be looking, definitely going to have a SPY chart up this morning, see what's going on there. But yeah, nice big drop on Tesla. We could get some kind of continuation today. We are sitting at an area of prior support. So if we can break this, we can drop down nicely to some of these levels we have down here. But the volume right now just seems too light on Tesla at the moment. CTAS. Let's see here. This one, CTAS. No volume, guys. Really light on the volume, even though it's gapping up 3.2. MO, we have PCRX. Yeah, I have this here as a possible, Dennis. So PCRX, we'll definitely take a look at it. This one right now is up 5.8%, but they have some news about, joining a different exchange. Norm was mentioning earlier. So again, we got to see how they're going to be joining some mutual funds, better said. So we got to see how that trades up. Right now, it's got some volume. It's up quite a bit, but the pre-market activity is not all that great. So I have it here as a possible. It might not make my list, but I will keep an eye on it, just to see how that type of news is going to affect the trading. Jennifer, NVIDIA's got an upgrade. Let's see. They're not doing much right now. Pretty flat. They are sitting at a level of support and prior resistance. So again, another one that we can expect some continuation out of this. Again, just depending. I think a lot of stocks are going to wait to see what the market condition is going to be this morning. So we'll have to see how NVIDIA plays out. Right now, nothing exciting at the moment with the volume. Volume is very low at this time. All right, Baba. So Baba News is unveiled new intelligence chip on the China-based. All right, so let's look at Baba, see what that is doing. Okay, yeah, this is starting to get volume. Yep, 92, starting to pick up a bit here. Had a bad day yesterday, like most stocks, or had a nice red day yesterday. It's got a nice bounce here. Yeah, this could be interesting. This could be a good possible or a good main one. We'll have to see how this one plays out. So. And I wonder, is that going to affect JD? What is JD up to when it comes to that? JD's not doing much at the moment. All right, let's do a few more PM, we looked at PM. We do have PM on here. So PM is, yeah, it's on our watch. We'll keep an eye on this. This is related. They're both related with MO. These two are trading together today with some news that came out. So we'll see how these play out. Pre-market activity is not looking all that great, but they do have some good volume on PM. MO, we have traded in the past. This one has some good volume as well. I might be more inclined to keep MO because I have traded in the past successfully, and it kind of trades clean when it is in play. Let's look at Snap. Snap is Snap is active again. Snap has been pretty active. So 193,000 shares traded, up 1.6. Again, holding this 17 as support. Red day yesterday based on the SPY, pushing it down probably, and now it's bouncing back. So let's keep an eye on Snap today. All right, folks. Two more, and then we'll get to announcements. TDOC. TDOC, this one here, guys, just not much volume on TDOC, so not enough volume at the moment. And PHAS we do have here. We're going to get into some details on that one. It's got some good volume right now, up 22%, and it's not a low flow stock. I think it's like a 32 million share stock, so we'll take a look at it. All right, guys, let's get to announcements, and we'll come back to do some support and resistance. I think Norm might have dropped.
Carlos, can you?
Yep, now I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah, I have the same connection issue I had yesterday. Not really encouraging. All right. So New York City meetup picks, we have them. They look great. A few will be coming out in an email later today. I want to try to find a way that we can get a good amount of them so that you guys can look through them, find pictures of yourself. The photographer went around and took pictures of a lot of people. So I'm going to get with Ryan later and see if we can find a way to make that work and get you guys a gallery. The next Lifetime webinar is going to be this Thursday, tomorrow, 9/26. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be with Andrew and Brian. If you go to the forums, Abiel's posted the link also. You can post your questions for them to answer. Brian will be back from his European vacation, so that'll be great to get his insight, what's going on in the market, and so on and so forth. Dallas #1 best trader competition currently going on. You can go to onebesttrader.com, see the live leaderboard. It's cool how they've got it hooked up. You can see the live trades and everything else. Bearable Traders is honored to have been nominated as part of the Benzinga FinTech Awards in the People's Choice category under Best Financial Literacy Tool. If you go to the website or take the link that Abiel has put up in the alerts, and we'll put up in the, and he already has on YouTube, you can go over there, and if you enjoy our content, it takes about 2 seconds to vote. You can vote one time per day per device. We sincerely appreciate it. Then our meetups coming up, we've got St. Louis with Kurt and William on October 19th. We've got San Diego on October 26th. Andrew will be there. I'm sure we will have some other BBT people there as well. Not quite sure who yet. And then Clearwater Beach, Florida, November 16th. A lot of people we had come to the New York City meetup to see Dr. Steenbarger. A lot weren't members, but were contemplating it. So we wanted to give them the opportunity to join if they wanted to, and discuss that with them at the time. But there is a new promo code, New York City. No spaces, all spelled out. It's 30% off a lifetime membership and a 25% off or a 25% off an annual membership, as a big thank you guys for coming out and supporting us and Dr. Steenbarger and getting the chance to meet all of you guys. And then if you're in YouTube and you have not been trading with us live in the room, you can use the promo code Premarket 24 for the 1 week trial. Does not auto renew, does not turn into another membership. You can just come try us for a week at a discount and see if you like it. If you're watching us on YouTube, we sincerely appreciate the likes, the thumbs up, and if you subscribe and also hit the notification bell, you'll be notified of when we go live at the pre-market show, Williams trade reviews, so on and so forth. And then Traders for a Cause. We are very proud to be supporting Traders for a Cause, starting this year with this event they have coming up, October, I believe it's 10th through 13th. It's Thursday night through Sunday, but you don't have to go through the whole thing if you don't want to. You can get a discount on tickets using the promo code BearbullVIP at their website. If you just Google Traders for a Cause, you can get that. ABO will also post a link. Andrew and I will be there Friday night through Sunday, I believe. So hopefully we'll get to see a couple of you guys there in Vegas in early October.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's make this list a little smaller. I think we have some more that have popped up into our scanners, including this one here. That's the first red on the gappers list on Trade Ideas, TOT. Let's take a look at that. TOT, it's just a block trade, 450 shares here. You can tell the time and sales we got that transaction happening there. So not much going on. Also, nasty daily chart as well. Looks very choppy, looks a little bit foreign here. So might be. We have the .S, .A. Usually that means South America, usually, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, let's go. Oh, why did I do that? All right, that's okay. Messed up the... We'll fix it. That's all right. Okay, so let's start with STAG. So here on STAG, what do we have? We have... this is not great pre-market activity. So I'm not sure about STAG, guys. Again, the volume is not all that great. Volume is great. I'm sorry. The pre-market activity is not all that great. We do have some areas where we can have some levels. It's hitting this moving average nicely here at 28.71. Below that, we have 28. And then we also have this one right around here with this day is at 23.37. High of the pre-market sitting at 29. And then above that, you have this one all the way up here at 29.33. So again, not going to keep this one just because the pre-market activity doesn't look all that great. It is nice that it's down 3%. Looking at the numbers alone, you know, the report card looks good on this, but the visual is just horrible. So I'm gonna just remove this one for today. Next we have Snap. Let's take a look at Snap. Snap on here is it's been pretty active, guys. Actually yesterday it almost hit this last previous high, hanging around 18.20 or so. Yep, 18.35, so I'm going to mark that down. But again, it could be interesting. Had a nice red day yesterday. I think this was caused more because of the market conditions. But the way Snap was lining up, it looked like it wanted to head higher and stay up there. So today we might get some kind of continuation. Pre-market activity right now has 210,000 in volume. And we're climbing up quite a bit, 1.5. So sitting right now at the high from 2 days ago. Above this, we have a level right on here, which is a clean one. 1765. I'm going to mark that down. I'm not going to add too much on Snap because towards the bottom we have your previous day close, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. If you want to have something else, if it's going to drop lower, again, I don't think this thing is going to lose it today. I'm going to mark down this one on here. Looks perfect. It's 1640. But again, as we know, Snap does not move like that. But 1640 definitely an area where we have some support, some resistance on there and support as well. So that is Snap. Next we have Roku. So Roku here, guys, again, we've seen a lot happening from Roku over the last couple of days with some really big drops, as we've been mentioning in the past, and then also yesterday giving us quite a bit of an action, running through some whole dollar numbers there. Pretty nice. Towards the bottom, guys, we have the previous day close and the low from yesterday, sitting around 90. What was that? 96 or so. The low from yesterday. But today, if we can get back down there and drop even further, we got a beautiful moving level here at 87.14, and above that we have another several days on this 92.86. I want to show you why we're looking at those two levels. If we zoom in a little bit here, you got 87.14 here has been resistance, then support, right? After this thing popped up. Then the next level we have some resistance at is 92.86. You can see here several days having a hard time staying above that. Once they break out of that nice big gap towards the next level, which is now this line here, your low of your low from yesterday. Look at this 92.86. After we pop up, we sell off here, we come back and we have fine support over several days on this 92.86, and then we head right back up towards the low of yesterday. So again, several levels on there that are nice towards the bottom in case Roku decides to surprise us and head even lower. I don't think that's going to happen, but towards the top we got the high from the last 2 trading days. Above this we have a beautiful moving average around 121.86. I don't think we're going to get that type of bounce back, but you know what, even a better level than this 191.86 is going to be the bottom of this gap here, right on there, this 118.39. So I'm going to mark that down. So plenty of levels for Roku, guys. Let's see how this plays out today. It's going to be interesting to see, are we going to get a bounce? Are we going to chop around or continue on this highway to hell movement that Roku has over the last couple of days. PM, guys, this is one that is actually, let's make some room here. PM is actually one that is linked with MO. So I'm going to bring MO up here. So out of these two, PM, again, pre-market activity looks a little bit flat in regards to the action. I'm not seeing a nice little range. MO seems to have a better range on the 5 minute. This looks a lot cleaner, has some volume. So I'm going to keep MO instead of PM. I'm not going to watch both of these, but I'll watch MO instead. And we have our high of our pre-market sitting at 42.45. Above this, we have a nice level right on here at 43.53, and then above that we have 45. So plenty of levels in here. In between that, you do have some moving averages, so be aware of that. Of course, also the whole dollar number, you want to be aware of that on the way up. And then towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. We're actually stuck between the high from 2 days ago and the high from yesterday. Below that, you have your previous day close, and both for the lows from the last 2 trading days. And then our pre-market low today sitting at 39.81. So let's mark that down. So again, I like this one better than PM. I think this one has a better pre-market activity. The other one has more volume, I think, but the pre-market activity looks a lot cleaner on here. And we have traded this one in the past, and it's traded very well. So let's keep that one on there. PHS, this was one of our possibles. So what I'm going to do on this one is let's put some levels. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but it does have a good, clean pre-market activity. Lower price, and it is not a low float. It is actually a 21 million shares float. So it's a little bit on the lower side, but not a low float. So we can keep track of some of these levels. We have 586 all the way up here. Above that, this is such a clean level here at 7. I don't think we'll get there today. 752 just sticks out very nice. You can see the support on there, guys. It's very, very clean. And then we have another one right on here at 666. Perfect level on there as well. So towards the bottom, we have plenty. Previous day close, we have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. I'm not going to add any more towards down here, but we have some good clean levels if this thing becomes active. Might not be one that I keep today. PCRX is going to throw this down here. This will be a possible today because they have some weird news. Just want to see how they play out this morning. Again, pre-market activity looks a little bit flat. 196,000 shares traded, but I do not like the way the visual is on the pre-market activity at the moment. Nike is definitely on the watch list today. They're hitting all-time high this morning on some great news. They're up 5%, 667,000. Look at this pre-market activity. This is beautiful. This is exactly what you want to see in the open. This is 9 out of 10 right here. This is perfect. So high of the pre-market sitting at 92.66, which is your all-time high. We have a level we have created towards the low of the pre-market sitting at 91.15. And then below that, the next area of support, now that I see that was prior resistance, is this 89.84. So I'm going to mark that down. If we lose that, obviously we've been chopping around over these last couple of days, banging our heads up and down here. So that area has plenty of levels, highs and lows, previous day close, and also some moving averages trying to catch up to the price action. And above this, obviously all-time high, so there's nothing going to be above that level. But I love the pre-market activity. Time and sales is moving nicely. Definitely one to watch today. All right, next we have MPC. Let's bring that one up here. This one is up 6.6. It's got some news that just broke out as we were doing our watch list. So this one will be good to watch as to see what kind of develops out of this. Let's get some levels in here. So high of our pre-market sitting at 59.70. What do we have towards the bottom? Towards the bottom, we have a nice area right on here at a 58.66. So we'll do that. And then towards the top, we got some. This is a nice daily chart, guys. This has a lot of. When you have a nice daily chart, it's easy to spot this support and resistance level. Look at this high of the pre-market, how clean that has been in support over this time frame, April and May. Above that, we have another the range that has been stuck in right at 61.67. You can tell how clearly that has been tested several times over and over again. And again, the more a level is tested as support and resistance, the stronger that level is going to be, right? So 63.20, another level, and all the way up here 64.49 is a great level. Now let's look at towards the bottom. We have an area right on here, 57.5801. It's a level there, 58.01, and then below that, let me see if we have some more recent levels. Yeah, then below that you have a moving average right on there, 56. So quite a bit, guys, but again, this stock is moving a lot. So if you look at the price action now, it's 59.10. This drop on this next level is 58.66. The next one is 58. So that's a dollar move right there. So again, be careful with the number of shares you're going to take on this bad boy today. But looks good. Like the pre-market activity right now. It's got some volume. It did have a nice pop. Hopefully we can get more out of this as the morning develops. Next we have PH.
Hey, Carlos.
Yep.
I'm gonna hop in here real quick. We've got several people on YouTube saying they're having an issue getting into the website. So since that's the case and we're getting toward the end of the usual YouTube broadcast, we should probably keep that rolling for the moment.
Yep, absolutely. We'll keep it on, guys, until that is resolved. All right, guys. So here we have PHAS. We looked at that one already. So again, not one of my favorite, but it does have some good pre-market activity, some good volume. So we'll keep that on here for now. MO, I'm going to keep. Already went over that one. BABA. So let's look at BABA here. BABA is actually, yes, bouncing back with some decent volume. This is good volume for BABA. They usually don't have great volume in the pre-market. They are a nicey stock, and they trade a little funky sometimes. But when they are in play, as you can see, they trade very, very well. So today they're bouncing back a bit with some decent pre-market activity for the type of stock this is. 172.82 is your high of your pre-market. Above that, you have a very nice clean level right over here at exactly at 175. Makes perfect sense why that would be there. And then towards the bottom, guys, towards the top, you have plenty highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So moving averages coming above this 175 price level. And then towards the bottom below, you have the previous day close high, the low from last trading day from yesterday. And then here you have your pre-market low at 170. So I think that's plenty for BABA. I'm personally not going to watch this one. I think I have plenty up here that I like already. So I'm going to put this one. I'm going to take this one out at the moment from this list. All right, ACHN. Let's look at this one here. Yeah, this is trading like garbage, guys. I don't like the way this looks. It has volume up 6.5, but look at this pre-market activity. It's just I don't see anything great about it, but who knows? It could surprise us. 540 high of the pre-market. Above this, we do have a level right on here, which is nice 479, and then all the way up here at 5. Towards the bottom, nice area of consolidation at 422. You can see all these days just banging their head against that 422. And then below that, 4 seems to be an area as well. And usually tends to be the case with these type of low price stocks. These whole dollar numbers, tend to be areas of support and resistance. So we'll be ready for it. But right now, I don't like the way this is set up. We'll keep it here as a possible. It is not a low flow stock. It's actually, I believe, 22 or 32 HCHN. Actually, no, more, 135. So it's not a low flow stock, but again, we'll see what comes out of that. All right, next we have PCRX. Is one that's a possible high of the pre-market sitting at a 41.70. Our low sitting right on this moving average at 39.50. So we'll mark that down, and then slightly towards the top, we do have an area right on here at 43.12, and then another one all the way up here at 45 clearly. But prior to that, so that's a big stretch. 44.13 is also an area where we see some support and resistance. Now towards the bottom, guys, if we lose this, look at this the low of the pre-market, how that has been an area of resistance here, support here as well. If we lose that, we clearly have a nice little drop right down here at 38.88, and you can see several days also using that as a support on the daily chart. And then below that, we have a nice range here stuck between 37 and 36, looks like 36.50, just bouncing up and down. Previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right in here. Don't need to add anymore. So this one is interesting. I'm on the fence on this one, not sure what to expect out of it. It does have some volume, 212,000 shares traded. It is up 5.6, but again, their news is a little funky today, so I'm going to keep an eye on it to see how this trades. All right, guys, let's just kind of review this a bit, see what we have. Let's start with Snap. So Snap, we like for a possible continuation. Roku, we have to keep on watch. I mean, this thing has been great to trade over the last couple of days. You guys have been doing amazing when it comes to Roku. MO is a good one as well. It's got good pre-market volume, 1.3 million shares traded so far. It's got a nice little range here. It's trading better than PM. PM is the other one that has some news linked to MO. Next, we have Nike. Nike hitting all-time high, bouncing from this pre-market low. This one's going to be exciting to trade today as well. Look at the volume, 734,000 shares for Nike at the pre-market. You could tell this thing is active. Definitely a stock in play this morning. MPC, This one popped up nicely, kind of going a little flat on me right now, but we'll see what we can get out of this one. Again, we got a lot of levels. This stock moves quite a bit, so you want to be very careful on here. PHAS, this one, yeah, I'm gonna remove this one, guys. I got way too many to watch. I'm just gonna get rid of that one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more. You know what? I think I'll probably we'll see. We'll keep these two as a possible, and then I'll figure out which one will make that that last spot there. All right, so that is what we have, guys, so far for our watch list. Let's look at what everybody else is watching. So let's go up here. So Thor likes PM. PM is the other stock that's also moving with MO. So Thor likes PM. That's good. He's gonna have that on his list. BTI. Let's see what's going on there. So BTI is I think it's a foreign stock. So Thor's watching this one, and MO. Oh, MO is also, I'm also watching MO. MO is good too. And then yeah, PCRX. Thor, that's a good one also. I do have that on secondary. Again, not sure what to think about it with the news that's coming out. And of course, Nike is going to be very active today. So that's Thor's watch list. Eamon is watching Roku, Nike, MO, secondary list PM, and MPC. So kind of what we have in here as well. Next, who do we have? Kurt is watching TDOC. TDOC right now starting to pick up some volume. Not great at the moment, but this one has a nice daily chart, so Thor will be watching this. That's the great thing about being in a community. You have different people watching different things. So if you miss something, somebody calls something out, hey, this can possibly look like it's doing this and that, you know, does not mean to take the trade, but you can tune into that. It's kind of like a scanner, right? It's like a human scanner, right? You can tune into that, and then you can decide whether that's a trade you want to take or not. So TDOC is nice. Kurt will be watching that, so let us know if anything good comes up on that one. He's also watching MDCO. MDCO, let's see what's going on there. MDCO. I'm assuming you like the way the daily's setting up on this one, so I can see how some of these levels, if it can break out, can be a real nice trade. And he also has Nike. All right, guys. So as we get closer to the morning open, William will do his watch list. Everybody else will start posting their watch list, and then Andrew will come in and he'll do his final watch list. And that is usually how our morning goes here. Guys, any questions on the watch list or anything else that you like so far that maybe want to go over again? Ethan is watching Nike only. Excellent. Ethan, you were in New York, right? We had a conversation. If I'm correct, I think Ethan is Ethan watches one stock a day only. So amazing strategy. He was telling me about it. Not strategy, just the way he sets up his routine. One stock per day, and the entire stock, he's focused on that one ticker to make a move. And it's been working for him. So, you know, so many different ways to trade the markets is really incredible. So nice, Ethan. Perfect. Nike, if there's one to watch today, Nike is definitely the one. Moman, yes, we actually have done live sessions for the entire morning before in the past on YouTube. So you can definitely search our channel and see what that looks like. But we will definitely do one today.
At least until the website gets fixed.
Yes, exactly.
Just guys on YouTube, keep in mind there's a 15 to 20 second delay on YouTube. The chat room is live real time when you're in here, but YouTube puts a delay on everything just for security and safety issues. So what you're seeing right now in the room is about 15 to 25 seconds behind, depending on your connection and everything else.
All right, so William, check the daily on BA. Yeah, BA's daily looks great. I agree. Let's remove this level. This is a great daily chart. It reminds me of a little bit of what Snap did, right? Where it kind of got stuck in this level, testing it. But yeah, this looks interesting, man. If it can break out of these resistance here, it can really get going. So, and actually looking at the day yesterday, it didn't sell off as much as it did with all these other stocks did with the SPY, right? A lot of stocks ended red yesterday just because of the way the market was selling off. This one didn't quite do that, so it's interesting. Interesting. All right, so let's see what we have here. So Marek, you're watching quite a bit. Nike, PM, MO, Baba, Roku, and PCRX, and then he has a secondary watch list as well. Nice. Let's see what Apple's doing. What's going on with Apple here?
For you guys just hopping onto YouTube, yes, the chat room is not down if you're in here. It works, but the website is experiencing an issue from the hosting company. So we're going to keep YouTube going for the time being. Just keep in mind that there is a delay of 20-25 seconds. The chat room is live if you're in the chat room, but the broadcast to YouTube, because of YouTube security and everything else, it's about a 25-second delay.
Yes.
So we're working on it.
All right, guys, so let's review our list one more time. Also, I see some other stuff popping up into our scanners. We have some LCI. So LCI, what's going on with this one? This one's dropping down quite a bit, 18%. Doesn't have great volume, only 132,000 shares traded right now. So not all that great at the moment when it comes to volume. So we'll see how if this gets better. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's throw it down here as possible just in case. So let's go over our watch list, guys. So we have Snap on here. Again, Snap has been very great. This is kind of what we had over the last couple of days. Popped up, had an issue getting over this 17 level. And then I believe yesterday was, or the day before, me and William were watching this one. And it looked like it was going to break out. It didn't give us any continuation. I was expecting for this to at least get up to this high here and maybe some of these over here. But it didn't do that. This bounced back. And had a big red day yesterday. Today's popping up a bit. It's up 1.6. So I can expect hopefully some continuation out of Snap. Again, it has been trading well. You have several days where you have some good pop here, giving you 20-30 cents. And on a stock like Snap, that it can be that can actually be very, very good. So up quite a bit. We have some levels on here as we discussed. We can look at it here: 18.35, 17, and 16.40, plus some of the previous day close and low of the market sitting on here. I'm looking for this. I'm waiting for 5 minutes on this one. I want to wait for it to settle in. It might sell down. People might take some profits and then shoot back up. So I'm going to wait 5 minutes for this to get going before I take a trade on it. Roku is going to be exciting. It had a big red day yesterday. And overall, guys, as we know, has been having a huge red day over the last couple of days, just being hammered. Good pre-market activity, 165. So on this one, we have a nice support area right on here, right? So you see that support. I'm looking hopefully to get some kind of action if we get back down towards that previous day close. Obviously, yesterday we broke through that and hit, I believe, was 98, right? 98. We broke through 100 pretty easily when we did that there. That could have been helped a lot with the SPY. I mean, this stock is overall weak. So let's see what it does. If it's going to be able to hold here, it could be choppy today. It could just take a rest, right? Usually after big drops, you have a nice little rest area. Same thing you do after big pops, right? So we'll see what it does today. I'm going to be patient as well. Wait 15, 20 minutes on this one because at the open, it could be very choppy. But usually things settle down after that first half hour, right? If you look at Roku's history on their daily intraday charts, after 30 minutes, it does great trades. You can catch a really beautiful, nice trend trade. You do not need to force anything at that first 5 minutes. Let's look at MO. MO is pretty active, guys. I love the pre-market activity right now. I have traded this one in the past very well. It trades nice and clean. So hopefully we can get that today. Today it has tons of volume, 1.4. It is up 2.1 right now, holding above these moving averages on the 5. Again, I'm going to look for opening range breakup or breakdown on this one, but I am going to be waiting for that 5 minute mark. I'm not going to take anything until we get to that 5 minute mark, unless around between 3 and 5, unless there's something very clean around that after that 3 minute mark. If there's a good risk to reward near the VWAP, I might take a shot at that if that appears. But for the most part, waiting that first 5 minutes. Nike's going to be nice, guys. I think there might be some profit taken on Nike after this pop, right? If you've been sitting here at 88, you've been holding this, you might take some stuff out, just to play it safe. So we'll see how that plays out. It's very active, 874,000 shares trading so far today. Nice little bounce of 91. So that is nice. We'll have to see how this plays out. One that I'm going to keep my eye on as well. And MPC, well, go ahead, Norm. You have something?
No, I was just saying some of these guys are asking if Andrew's going to join us. He's going to have the same issue getting into the room and the site that other people are having right now.
Yes.
So we're trying to get him in. We're trying to get him in another way, but it'll take a little bit. It'll take a few minutes.
Yep. So so MPC, guys, this one is again a nice pop this morning. It looks like it wants to head higher now. Pre-market activity is looking very active. 592,000 shares traded, up 6.6 this morning. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, what else do we have? And these are some possibles. I'm not going to go into details on this. These are some possibles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beautiful stocks here that we can trade today that I'm going to watch closely. All right, guys, I am switching my screen over to get the scanners up and going for the chat room. Just give me 1 second here. All right, just trying to see if we can share the screen with YouTube so you guys can see it. And also for those members that cannot join the room, I want them to be able to have access to what we have. Okay, here we go.
A 1 minute alarm.
All right, 1 minute to the open, guys. Again, patience. Stick to your setups.
Yes, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to keep this open, but just remember it's a YouTube thing. It's not us. The chat room is live, but YouTube has about a 20-second delay on it.
All right, guys, 15 minutes to the open. Let's get our stuff in line here. Let's see where the volume comes in. Let's see what's moving well, what has a good pre-market activity. Again, no FOMO. Wait for your setups to show up.
Yeah, be patient and disciplined. We got the market open. So Roku's trying to pop higher.
Yep, I see Nike is getting some nice volume as well. Let's see what it does. Roku is good. Snap's not doing anything. SPY's pretty flat at the moment.
Let's see if I can get a pullback on Nike, Carlos. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I hesitated for a moment. I think I'd be chasing it at this point, so I'm going to hold off for a minute.
Oh, yes.
There she goes without me.
Yeah.
Still early. Only a minute in.
All right, MO is hitting our scanners here. Looks interesting. I'm gonna wait to try to get a 5-minute opening range on that one, and also MPC, guys. MPC looks good. It's got some good volume as well. So I'm looking at those two to see what kind of action we're going to get out of MO and MPC. Hopefully they don't run too much without us.
Watch the spread on MPC. I've seen it tick up over 20 cents. So
yeah, I see it at 15
that
now.
Concerns
So
me a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. MO is running without us. Look at this thing. Come on. Yeah, Roku is wild right now, guys. Be careful with Roku. It's really all over the place. You look at that 5-minute. I mean, that's
yeah, that's the ugly candle.
Yeah. Nike breaking all-time high right now. That was a good, nice opening candle there.
Yeah, I saw it and I just hesitated for a second and missed it. Maybe it'll give us a chance on a pullback.
All right, Roku's breaking out nicely. Yeah, SPY is ripping higher, William. I do see that. That's ripping nicely there. So guys, currently just looking around to see what's setting up for a good opening range, which is the strategy that I first started looking for. So I'm checking to see which one has that good setup that we can possibly take a trade in. MO at the moment is pulling back a bit, heading back to VWAP. Oh, some nasty wicks there though. Just saw that popped up. Didn't like the way that appeared there. So I'm gonna be careful with that. Snap is selling down. Snap is not holding. The VWAP, not a lot of crazy trading on Snap. Doesn't look too clean really.
Wow, did Nike lose that level?
Yeah, Nike's so back down, pretty aggressive on that 5. Oh, it's right at VWAP now. Let's see if it's going to hold or head lower.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
It's a good pullback there. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get it. Hey, Andrew. Andrew made it. There we go.
I'm so sorry, guys. Good morning. I'm long Roku, guys. I'm long Roku 105.60. I want to see if we can get something out of that. I'm so sorry that website was down, so we had a little bit of issue on that. Let's see if we can get something out of Roku. 105.60 on Roku. Yeah, not a good. Nike also possible long. Nike also possible long on that. Let's see what Nike is doing. Yeah, Nike long guys too. I think Nike's a possible long. Roku, nah. Yeah, it just took him too long. So I'm getting out of Roku, guys, at 104.50. I stopped out on that, so it's just took him way too long. Didn't pop up. Nike's doing some stuff. Nike's doing an engulfing. Sorry about the website, guys. We were working on that. Let's see. What else do we have? LCI. I think Nike's still doing some stuff. I want to see what it does. CHBI is doing some volume. CI popping up. MO. MDCO. MDCO is interesting too for a long. Roku. Yeah, Roku is down to garbage. The other one is you mentioned Mo. Mo is a short, so I'm just quickly setting up my watch list too because I am a little bit of behind my watch list. An MPC. Oh yeah, look at that. MPC is interesting for the daily chart. Yeah, I'm long a Nike, guys. So I'm long Nike at 92. Let's see if Nike is doing something at 92. I'm long Nike at 92. Roku sold off. MDCO. MDCO seems like a long as well, so the volume is actually not bad. The spread is not great. MO is doing some stuff. Nike dropped. I put a stop loss on Nike 91.60. I think there's a possibility that it rips higher. Roku wants to go red to green. Netflix popped higher. Yeah, I'm still interested to see what Nike is doing, but probably going to be garbage. MDCO. Yeah, Nike. Still, yeah, I don't know. Nike I might get out of it. That's at break even, because it's just if it comes back to break even, I might actually get out of it. Doesn't look that it wants to do anything. Yeah, it looks really weak. MU might go for a pop. Yeah, so I'm getting out of Nike at 91.77. I stopped out on Nike at 91.77. I stopped on Nike at 91.77. Unfortunately, no. Yeah, I didn't have enough thing. MU. Watching the MU. MU might go for the high of the day. Again, MU is just not a big fan of MU. Roku might be a short. Let's see what Roku is doing. I know. See, I saw Nike. Yeah, that's why you got to get out of. That's why you got to get out of losing positions. Otherwise, you're not gonna have fun. MO is going down. MO is really nice. Damn, I should have shorted MO. Yeah, all the stocks that have gapped up are really weak now. short Roku. I'm short Roku, guys. I'm short Roku at 104.50. So I'm short Roku some at 104.50 for another red to green. So in this pool, let's see if you can actually get into a little bit less than. Yeah. So Roku. Let's see if you can go green to red. Yeah, it's probably going to crack that. Nike might come back up, but let's see. Yeah, so I'm covering some at 101.14. And 103. I'm covering, guys. I'm covering Roku at 103 and lower. MDCO, yeah, Nike might worth another try for the long. I want to see if Nike can go. Roku, thinking if see if you can get 200 shares at 102. So I have some orders at 102.50. MDCO. Nike still struggling. Yeah, that was a really good short on MO. Unfortunately, I wasn't looking at it. Beautiful short on MO. Snap sold off. So I have some orders at 102.50 on Roku. I don't know how far it wants to go down, but oh yeah, we have this level at in 98.79, so we might possibly go there. So I have some orders there. See. Tesla is going down. Let's check out the Tesla. Oh, it's hot. Jacket is coming off. Yeah, now I'm showing the market who's the boss. Roku is doing a pullback.